Hello everyone. In this video I will be ranking in order what I believe to be the 10 most terrifying enemies created by Frictional games. The games that I have included are as follows: Amnesia: The Dark Descent, Amnesia: Justine, Penumbra, and Soma. However, I have not included Amnesia: A Machine for Pigs, as it is not strictly a Frictional game. The creatures from this title most likely would not have made the list anyway. So let us begin the countdown.
Is someone there? Who are you?
Number 10. Turngat Infected, Penumbra. These infected from Penumbra are reanimated humans that perished and have been brought back to life by the Turngat. The Turngat is an alien life form which was uncovered deep underground in Greenland by an excavation team. The Turngat infected are more than just mindless zombies. They can run, wield weapons or tools, and are comparatively intelligent. I find the most terrifying aspect of these enemies to be the fact that they can speak. They wander the dark, uttering various things in a gruff and grating tone, which is very unsettling.
Who there?
Visually though, this creature is slightly rough and dated compared to many of the terrors we see in modern horror games, which is why it is number 10 on our countdown. Number 9. The Servant Grunt, Amnesia: The Dark Descent. The Grunts are one of the types of servants to Alexander, the Baron of Brennenburg Castle, who is the main antagonist of the game. They are the most common enemy type in the Dark Descent, and they patrol the halls of Brennenburg Castle in search of the protagonist. Their growling and ragged breathing makes it extremely tense whenever they are near. Decrepit and pallid, they seem to have been patched together with skin and other organs. They are slow moving at first but deceptively quick once they spot you, and with no way to fight back, you must either hide or run, as only a few swipes from their jagged claws will end you. These enemies are usually easy to avoid and seem to have no object permanence, so once you are out of their sight, they will quickly return to their mindless patrolling or leave the area altogether. This combined with the fact that they appear somewhat goofy in better lighting puts them at number 9 on the list. Number 8. The Suitors, Amnesia, Justine. The Suitors are the main enemies in the Justine DLC, all 3 of which were previous love interests of Justine, the player character, who subjects herself to unusual psyche tests after consuming an amnesia potion. These suitors have had their eyes removed by Justine and roam around blind, but they are sensitive to sound, and will pursue Justine if they hear you running or walking. They can be heard wheezing and struggling to breathe, presumably as a result of the torture and experiments Justine performed on them prior to taking the amnesia concoction. Their feet are also bound by chains, which you can hear dragging on the floor when they are close by. The tense and enclosed moments you find yourself in with them is what secures them spot number 8.
Imminent. Proceed to the emergency business.
Number 7. Flesher, Soma. The Flesher is a pale humanoid enemy with large, glowing growths protruding from its head. It haunts Simon and impedes his progress until he finally manages to get away on an escape vessel. This creature seems to be effectively blind, but it is unique in that it can sense eye contact or being watched. If you stare for too long or get close enough, it has the ability to teleport in your direction and give chase. These characteristics can make it a very intense encounter, as you often have to move past it to find your objective without getting too close or looking at it. Not only is it visually imposing with some unique traits for the player to figure out, it also makes an assortment of very disturbing sounds, which help it earn the number 7 place on our countdown.
Lock the door!
It's locked! What's going on?
Number 6. Crying Lady, Soma. Also known as Robot Girl or Screamer. This enemy is a female humanoid with robotic parts fused into her body. Her right arm has been replaced by a mechanical pincer which she uses to attack. She spends most of her time hunched over, head in hands, weeping and moaning. Remaining passive at first, she will not attack the player on sight, but making noise within her proximity will alert and enrage her. You should tread slowly and carefully when near her, while also staggering your movements. Making your way past her can be very intense, which is what earns her spot number 6. Number 5. Proxy, Soma. Proxies are former humans who have been severely mutated. Bulging with growths and tumours, they shamble around Theta while screeching and groaning. Among the mass of flesh and tubes you can see their face, which is stuck in a perpetual expression of anguish. Proxies are completely blind but have a keen sense of hearing. They can run very fast once alerted to the player's presence, and they make some of the most terrifying noises out of all of Frictional's creations. This is why I have them at number 5. Number 4. Jin Yoshida, Soma. Jin is a former member of the Pathos 2 research team that has been transformed into a monstrous walking power suit. This enemy is one of the most dangerous creatures in all of Soma. He patrols the hallways of Tower and has black tentacles protruding from his face and chest. With his heightened senses, speed and power, you must think fast to survive against Jin Yoshida. Number 3. Kern, Amnesia, the Dark Descent. Also known as the Water Lurker, the Kern is a creature from another world and is invisible to human eyes. It can only harm you when you are stuck in the water with it, but it will follow you, waiting for you to step or fall in. Some more experienced players of frictional games may be surprised that this enemy is so high on the top 10, but the first encounter with the Kern is where a huge majority of new Amnesia players quit the game, never to return. The loud splashing and roaring you can hear from behind you as you flee from this beast can cause extreme stress, putting it at number 3. Number 2. The Brute, Amnesia, the Dark Descent. Brutes are the most fearsome enemies in all of Amnesia. They are faster and stronger than the Grunts, and appear much later in the game. Their face appears to have been split open or torn apart, and you can see teeth and eyes lining the insides of it. They have a dark skin tone, with metal pieces grafted all over their body, which can be heard creaking and scraping along the ground when they are in the area. The Brute's forearm has been replaced by a large metal blade, which they use to attack. This can kill the player with only one hit. On top of the metallic sounds they emit, they also make loud, deep, bellowing noises as they approach. Truly everything about the Brute is terrifying. Their look, their sounds, and the amount of danger you are in when they are near. And thus this creature is the second most terrifying enemy in all of Frictional's games. Number 1. Terry Akers, Soma. Akers is another form of proxy, only he is much faster, more intelligent, stronger, and larger. He will not simply forget about you once you are hidden or manage to escape. You will find him relentlessly patrolling the hallways of Theta. Like the other proxies, he is blind, but even the slightest noise will bring him to you. He is another mass of tumors and black growths. His overwhelming insanity caused him to tear out his own eyes, so there are 2 large, visible eye sockets on his face. Before deforming into a hostile monster, Terry Akers was the lead of Site Delta. While Delta was being abandoned by the rest of his crew, he stayed behind. This isolation and his consumption of structure gel was the cause of his rapid mutation and descent into madness. A team was sent to retrieve him from Delta, but on arrival, he murdered them all and used their transport to make his way to Theta, where he killed many more. He now roams the hallways of Theta, where he will eventually cross paths with Simon, the player character. Terry Akers is the most dangerous and terrifying thing ever created by Frictional Games.